everyone, thank you for joining us in the Navigant Credit Union Broadcast Center. So today's kind of a special day for America. Over There, the hit song was published 100 years ago today. It was written in 1917 by the famous American entertainer, composer, producer, and of course Rhode Islander, George M. Cohan. So to talk a little bit about the song, and Mr. Cohan is Gerard Heroux with the University of Rhode Island Music Department, and Jerry is joining us via Skype. Jerry, how are you today?
Very good.
So thank you.
I just like to say that I'm also a writer for the Rhode Island Music Hall of Fame, which is how when National Public Radio contacted me today, they discovered me through that website.
Oh, that's perfect. Yes, so you've been speaking quite a bit about this topic and very knowledgeable about so many things, all things music. So we really appreciate you spending a bit of your time with us today. Tony Jones is right around the corner. He's well known about music. Quick question, is George M. Cohan in the Rhode Island Music Hall of Fame? We weren't quite sure.
Yes, he is.
Okay, perfect. We also didn't know how far back it went.
Well, if you're famous enough, you can go really far back.
Okay, perfect. So good to know. So why don't you tell us, Jerry, just a little bit about Over There and just why it was such a big hit in that time period and even now today?
Well, the nation was in a mood to try to accomplish some things over in Europe, and George M. Cohan felt the same way, and so he wrote this song about it, and he sort of kind of invented a kind of a bugle call-y kind of melody, do-do-do, do-do-do, that kind of thing, and added some words. He had an introductory verse, typical of songs in those days. He borrowed a little bit from an old song in the 19th century called Johnny Get Your Gun for the verse, but the chorus was basically all his. He did like to quote tunes like Yankee Doodle or Old Lang Syne in some of his tunes, but other than the Johnny Get Your Gun bit at the very beginning of the verse, that's pretty much all original Cohan.
And I was going to say... Oh, yeah, I was going to say I've been doing the swinging my arms and have had that song stuck in my head all day now. And I think now everybody will have Over There in their head all day, which may not be a bad thing.
So I think why it was so important was that, and Cohan's music in general, is that he tended to write in a very colloquial American way. He would use little, like even in the verses to Over There, he says, you know, Johnny, get your gun like a son of a gun. You know, he throws things out there like that, and it's very far removed from the sort of Viennese waltz or the Italian opera or sentimental ballad. It's a little bit more in your face, and people really took to it at that time.
And that's really interesting. And do you think that's what made the song different from other songs of its time? Did it kind of stand apart from other music that was popular?
Well, it didn't really stand apart from his songs because
Sure.
it's one of almost a trilogy of patriotic songs with the Yankee Doodle Boy, which most people know as I'm a Yankee Doodle Dandy, and You're a Grand Old Flag, which originally started off as You're a Grand Old Rag, but people thought, man, maybe that's not such a good thing to say about the American flag, and changed it to, You're a Grand Old Flag. So it's hard to say. I mean, it's a bit of African-American ragtime in there. There's a bit of Irish jigs and reels and this, comedy songs, things that, because his parents were Irish entertainers or Irish-American entertainers and worked the whole Irish-American circuit with comedy routines and songs and dances and things like that. His sister was a very famous dancer of the time, and they worked as a quartet called the Four Cohans. So he pulled on all these experiences and made something new at that time.
That's actually fascinating. Just to be able to create something that really struck a note and continues to be kind of a rallying call, whether it's for Memorial Day or 4th of July or people, it kind of just serves as an American theme song to some extent. Did it really serve as kind of a rallying call for World War I?
Well, I tend to think of that song in conjunction with the famous poster of, Uncle Sam Wants You. It's like between those two, I think that was a great, those two things were great recruiting tools for getting people to join the U.S. Army at the time.
And as we stand looking back 100 years ago, do you think songs like this, and with George M. Cohan's other famous songs for his work on Broadway and those, do you think this music will kind of continue to live on?
Well, as I write in my article on the Rhode Island Hall of Fame, there are school music books that have George M. Cohan songs in them, and we'll probably continue to have them whenever there's a patriotic section in those schools, like the first grade, second grade, the kind of music books they would have for teachers in public schools. So yeah, I think it will pretty much live on as long as there's a US of A.
Well, let's hope we continue having a US of A.
Yes, yes.
Jerry, thank you so much. It was great speaking with you this afternoon. I appreciate it, and hopefully we can call on you for more music insight in the future. I'd appreciate it.
Oh, I'd love to do it.
Thank you so much. I appreciate your